Hi, I'm Connor Nielsen of CS Reviews, and I'd rather love a good movie. Okay, so yesterday, or not yesterday, our last video, we did Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo, and because it's Thriller Week, it's only necessary to do 2 Alfred Hitchcock movies in the same week in a row. I mean, that's the only logical thing, right? I mean, Alfred Hitchcock was the master of a good thriller, and in my opinion, his greatest movie, Rear Window, is one of the greatest examples of one of the greatest mysteries or greatest thriller movies ever made. I like this movie a lot for a lot of reasons. I love the plot. The plot is about Jeffries, L.B. Jeffries, played by Jimmy Stewart, who's in a cast because he's a photographer, and he's isolated to his house because of an accident, and he's in a cast right now, and he has nothing to do all day except for spy on his neighbors. And he just sits there all day, and he has like his camera, and he has a huge lens. Sometimes he has binoculars, and he's just looking out to pass the time by. I liked his. He has a motherly nurse who comes in to help him do, like, she gives him massages, or like gives him some food, and played by Thelma Ritter. I think her name was like Stella or something. And then there's Grace Kelly as his girlfriend, who like never wears the same dress twice, and she's like a model. And a heat wave is growing, and we see, like, some people are like sleeping on the fire escape exits. His Rear Window is like, there's like a lot of hotels that come together, and there's like a courtyard in the middle. What did I say? Hotels. Oh, okay, apartments that all come together and make a courtyard, and he's able to spy on them. I like all the names he gives his neighbors. Like, there's a professional ballet dancer he calls Miss Torso. Then there's some musicians that have like the penthouse on one of them. He calls them the musicians. There's then there's Miss Lonely Heart, who's a middle-aged woman who like can't get a man. It's kind of depressing with hers because, I mean, she's like having dinners for herself, and she's like reenacting the dinners as if she has somebody across the table. It's pretty depressing with her. And then there's the salesman, played by Raymond Burr. Yes, Perry Mason and Steve Martin. If you know who I'm saying by Steve Martin, then Kaiju. That's so. And then while he's spying one day, he notices that the salesman's wife is gone, and he knows that they had bickered a little bit. And he's been spying on. Sometimes he stays spying for so long that he just falls asleep while doing it. And then he like wakes up one night several times, and he notices that the salesman is leaving with his briefcase like 3 times, and he thinks something is up. So he like becomes obsessed with trying to solve a murder. He thinks that she was murdered, so he's content on solving what he thinks is a murder. And then he hires a detective, Private Eye, and he can't find anything, and he thinks that his friend is crazy. And Alfred Hitchcock did a fantastic job directing this spectacle of a movie. I mean, it all takes place on one set. All of it. It's just him, his 2-room apartment, looking down on a courtyard. And that's it. I thought it was amazing the way they did it. It's phenomenal, and I thought Jimmy Stewart did a great job as L.B. Jeffries. I love Jimmy Stewart. I mean, the first movie, I loved Vertigo. That was the first movie I saw Jimmy Stewart in, and then I saw It's a Wonderful Life. Then I saw this, and I love Jimmy Stewart a lot. It's no wonder everyone loved him so much. I just love what I like about him is he has a funny voice, but it never really gets annoying or old ever. I mean, it's like Michael Caine. He has a very signature voice that like never it like only seems to grow on you, and I love the charisma he has. I love his chemistry with Grace Kelly, and I love his mother-son relationship with him and his maid. I thought that was very well executed. What also I loved a lot about this movie was the how all the other people besides the person he's suspecting of murder, I mean, there's all these subplots with them that they didn't need, but they put it anyway because they developed these characters without them even saying so much as a line. You just see their life from like a bird in a tree, just looking down at these people and
Like a fly on the wall.
fly on the wall. Thank you, Spencer. Can you please shut up now? Okay, so it's almost like a fly on the wall, just looking at these people, and it's amazing how they just they develop them so much without even talking. It's like the great collage. I mean, not collage. That the musical piece from Up, where it's showing Ellie and Carl's life in the first 20 minutes. It very reminded me of that, minus the music, and it's Jimmy Stewart and his girlfriend talking. I also liked the Newlyweds. That was a pretty funny joke, and Alfred Hitchcock really pushes the envelope with some innuendo, especially like from the first shot where it's just him spying on Miss Torso. He really pushes the envelope, not only with suspense, because this movie goes from laugh-out-loud comedy to nail-biting suspense in seconds. It's mind-blowing the way Alfred Hitchcock has so much control over what he wants to do, and the cinematography is amazing. I love how when it shows Jimmy Stewart with his camera, and he has this huge lens on it, and then you see like all the different windows and the reflection of the lens. I thought that was a really cool shot. It really reminded me of that shot from Vertigo where it shows Jimmy Stewart peeking into the flower shop and you see her in the reflection. So it's like you see two people in the same shot that appear next to each other, but they're not. It really reminded me of that shot. This was made 4 years before Vertigo, and Alfred Hitchcock did a great job, and I can't think of anything wrong with this movie. I think it's perfect in each and every way, and I enjoy watching this movie. It's one of those movies I could sit down and watch and never get old. I want to make sure, I want everybody to see this movie, and the stupid thing is, I told my friend, I think Spencer told our friend Casey, watch Psycho, because he'd never seen a Hitchcock movie before. So he rents the remake, because he didn't know there was a remake. So he got Vince Vaughn instead of Anthony Perkins. I mean, that's like telling somebody to go order ribeye, but get chicken instead. I mean, and then they made a remake of Rear Window with Christopher Reeve. I mean, Superman's awesome and everything, but it's like the same thing, ordering ribeye but getting chicken. I mean, it's really a bummer that people might mistake, the 1958 masterpiece for a remake. So make sure you're getting the 1954 original. Did I say it was 1958 on accident?
Maybe, I don't know. You're talking about Vertigo and Rear Window a lot, switching back and forth.
Okay, anyways, if you want to watch Rear Window, get the 1954 Rear Window directed by Alfred Hitchcock. You want to rent, wait, did I say rent, if you want to rent Vertigo?
No, you said Rear Window.
Okay, so if you want to rent Vertigo, get the 1958 Vertigo. If you want to rent Rear Window, 1954. They're both great, they're both Hitchcock. And they're both just great thrillers, and they have a lot of good laughs. Definitely check Rear Window out. Probably my favorite Hitchcock movie. Definitely in my top 10. Yeah, check it out. I'm Connor Nielsen, and this has been day 3 of Thriller Week.